Hey, what's up, folks? This is Jesse with Keeping It Real Finance, the channel that always has your back and tells it like it is. Well, today's video is going to be all about Telcoin and the TEL token. So if you haven't heard about Telcoin yet, Telcoin essentially centers all around using blockchain with remittance payments. Now, for an example of what remittance payments are, an easy way that I think about this is here in the USA, we have a lot of immigrants that come to this country from Mexico. Well, they end up working here and they send the money back to their families in Mexico. Now, the main way that you could do this today is through a service like Western Union. It's an old, somewhat outdated service. It's a bit archaic. The fees are expensive. It's slow, etc. There's a lot of things there. A lot of improvements and efficiencies that could be made. So here's where we insert Telcoin. So Telcoin is all about being able to do this with your phone, sending remittance payments. So very interesting project, huge market to tap into. I can see why they got into this space. Makes a ton of sense to me, and that's why we're doing this review today. So as always, I'm going to give you a thorough review on what Telcoin is, what it's all about. We're going to talk about, who the founders are, some news on the project, as well as we'll talk token towards the middle and end, and I will give you a year-end price prediction for Telcoin. So stick around for that. As always, you're not going to want to miss this one, okay? I'm very impressed with Telcoin. Let me just say that up front. So make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and if you click the bell, you'll be made aware whenever I post time-sensitive content just like this. And now, let's get it going. So what is Telcoin? Well, as I stated in the intro, Telcoin is a low-cost instant money transfer service primarily for remittance payments using blockchain through an easy-to-use mobile phone app. All right? Now, according to Telcoin, there are essentially 5 times as many mobile phones as there are bank accounts. Yet many around the world are still sending remittance payments through Western Union. So the argument is, why waste your time and money when you could do it instantly on their app? And they make up some pretty good arguments. So the sales pitch here is effectively instant transfers, so where users can send money globally in seconds, right? So that's pretty good. We have low fees, so less than 2% versus the average, which typically exceeds 7%. So it sounds like Western Union has had it too good for too long, and this market is ripe for disruption, which is where Telcoin comes in. Now, we also have the mobile convenience, so you do it on your phone without going anywhere. And we have a powerful and secure network because Telcoin runs on the Ethereum network, which is decentralized, okay? So we know it's secure. So how does it work? So first you would need to download the Telcoin app from the App Store. That's step one. Next, set up your Telcoin wallet. Now, the interesting thing here is that I actually tried to do this. I went to the App Store, I downloaded the app, found it easily. I went to set up the wallet, and it basically informed me that due to high demand, they're restricting new wallet activations to focus on target markets. So I will talk about that, though, a little bit later when I talk about news, all right? So if you can set up a wallet, your next step would be to cash in, enter the beneficiary country, phone number, the amount, and hit the send button. That's it, and it shows up in seconds. Amazing. Now, in the model that Telcoin is using, the network incentivizes operators so that the more TEL an operator has, the more incentives they get from the network. Now, operators are issued TEL based on transaction volume and integration maturity, ensuring that the most efficient delivery of an affordable remittance service to their subscribers. Now, Telcoin then easily fits into the existing fee models for connecting to carrier billing and mobile money platforms with any applied fees deducted from TEL issuance. So, the model basically incentivizes a low-fee service that is attractive to both users and networks. Win-win, right? Now, Telcoin's pricing and exchange API interacts directly with carrier billing and mobile money platforms through REST APIs, SMS, and USSD. Now, Telcoin has the following partnerships. Obviously, Uniswap, KuCoin, and Plaid are just some of the names that stand out to me in this list here. Now, for a little background, Telcoin was founded by Paul Neuner, who has over 12 years experience as a telecom entrepreneur, founding Mobius, a startup that provides fraud management service for mobile networks. Pangea KK, a software mobile application development company. IQ, a mobile app for organizing and creating events. And Sedona, a next-gen telecom fraud management service that focuses on securing sovereign mobile financial services. Now, we also have as co-founder Claude Eguientia, who has an MS in computer science focused on distributed systems. Okay. Now, regarding news and upcoming events, Telcoin has the following. So CoinMarketCal references upgrades to the Telcoin app in terms of a version 3.0, 3.1, and hopefully 3.2 by the end of this year. Now, per Telcoin themselves from the Medium page, their priorities are compliance, expanding markets primarily into Singapore, Australia, and the US, and rolling out V3. That is their focus as of right now, and this update was put out on April 16th of 2021. Now, apparently, they also just moved into a new headquarters building in Los Angeles while reopening their offices that were already existing in Singapore and Manila. Now, they also announced partnerships with Unipagos that opens up Mexico. So stats are that 1.6 million Mexican households rely on inbound remittance payments from the US. That market alone is valued at $36 billion. So you can see where this project, the potential here, could be massive, right? Now, outside of that, Telcoin also signed agreements with two of the largest mobile money platforms in Nepal and Tanzania. They are worldwide. Very impressive project. So, let's talk token. So, TEL is the token for Telcoin, which as of this recording at 4/29/2021 was ranked number 148 with a market cap of 349 million. That's it on this one. And 51 billion out of the 100 billion tokens are in circulation. Now, of those 100 billion tokens, we have 25% were distributed in crowd sale to investors in 2017. We have 15% that were retained by the Telcoin team. We have 5% went to the liquidity fund. 50% went to the Telcoin operators' incentives, so that's what's funding that part. And the last 5% went to community incentives and ongoing developments. Now, if we insert the chart here, you can see that TEL started the year at 0.000178. As of today, it's at 0.00067711, meaning that it has done a 38x so far for 2021. Pretty impressive. So the question, as always, is how much more gas is in the tank, right? Well, if we insert the trading view chart here, you can see the TEL recently broke lower from the pattern it had been in for the last 3 months. The MACD went bearish April 2nd, and the RSI is currently under 50. Now, if you look at the trend lines, we can still follow the new trend along with the old trends to give us an idea of where this thing could go. So, if we insert a zoomed out chart, you can see here that TEL has the potential to go anywhere from a 0.0214 to a 0.0273 within those current trend lines by the end of the year, which translates to roughly a 3 to 4x. Now, my price prediction at this point, I think a 3 to 5x is possible. I do think that it could spike a lot higher if we go into full-blown alt season this summer. That is possible. But this is one of the projects that you want to be looking at long-term much further than this year. I see this one being really big, kind of like a V-chain. There is real-world case for this project already, all right? Now, the assessment that I have As I mentioned, that's based on altcoin season, and it's based on those impressive partnerships that I already mentioned in the news, right? So they're already doing this. Really, really interesting. Now, where you can find TEL includes, you can find it on KuCoin, you can find it on Balancer, HitBTC, 1inch, and more. I do have referral links in the video description for referral bonuses. Check that out. If you go through any of those referral links, you're also supporting the channel. Greatly appreciate it. Thank you. Okay? So that is it for today's video on Telcoin. Very interesting project. I can see why a lot of people are believers in this one. Like I said, it reminds me of VeChain, reminds me of Reserve. Some of these coins that are already out there that have real world use case, that's exactly what this one has. So huge market in terms of remittance payments all around the world. And what they can do here in terms of the efficiencies gained, this is the kind of coin that I like to talk about on this channel that, you know, when they do it faster, cheaper, more efficient, it's checking all those boxes, every single one of these, right? It's also super cheap, you know, so you can get in at a low price. You could acquire a lot of this one, and you could just hold it long term like a lot of people do, like I said, with things like VeChain, right? So fantastic project, so glad I reviewed it, and I really hope that you enjoyed today's video. If you did, make sure to hit the like button. As always, don't forget that I'm also on Twitter at KIR Finance, where I'm tweeting and retweeting on a regular basis. And for a friendly reminder, this is Jesse with Keeping It Real Finance, the channel that always has your back and tells it like it is, and I will see you on the next one. Later.